What we're doing today is we're going to take a look at two labs. These dogs have already been trained through our company, but we're dealing with specific issues where the dogs are starting to display some anxious behavior when the owners get into the pool. So what we're trying to do is get a handle on their behavior today and try to prevent something from getting worse. And some of these cases where we're always concerned about is compulsive type disorders, where the dog begins to become overstimulated, barking and things like that, and it becomes conditioned, and then after a while it becomes a real issue where we have to actually medicate the dog and things like that in the future. So let's see what we've got. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good, good. Hey guys, how are you guys? Yes, I know. All right. You want to go inside? Come on, let's go inside. Let's see what we've got going. I know. So, how have they been? They've been doing okay?
They've been doing real good.
Okay.
They are just a little anxious around the pool and just want to try to get them to be where they're comfortable in the environment so that they'll...
Is there one over the other? Is there one that's more anxious over the other?
I would say Buster, he's a little more anxious than Bailey. It seems like Bailey's feeding off of Buster.
Okay.
And I think he's learning from Buster that, oh, something's wrong. Let's kind of figure out what's going on, why they're in the pool.
And the anxious behavior is what? What are they doing when they become anxious?
They circle the pool and bark so incessantly that it can become an annoyance that you don't want to go in the pool, quite honestly.
Now, do these guys swim in the pool?
No, they do not.
Okay, they don't swim in the pool.
They are a little fearful of actually getting in the pool.
The first thing we want to do is take a look and see what the behavior is. Is it something that's controllable? We are probably going to want to put leashes and collars on them too once we see the behavior, and then try to incorporate some structured obedience that we've already done with them. Try to incorporate that into the behavior itself and see if we can fix the problem. So a lot of it is environmental. So let's see if we can recognize the behavior, see what it is, and let's see if we can get, let's see what's actually going on. Guys? So let's do everything exactly the way you've been doing it lately and where you've been minimizing the behavior. Okay, so let's try that and see. We're going to find out why these guys don't want mom swimming in the pool. This is a common problem. It can be very easily related to stress and anxiety, and not much different than the dog barking at the front door or chasing kids on bicycles or even chasing a vehicle. Just stay right there. Don't say anything at all to him. All right, guys. Okay, there's several things that we look at here. When we watch this behavior, there's several things that we see. Number one is, it's not so much that you're in the water, it's what you're doing when you're in the water. So, movement triggers them immediately. Splashing triggers them immediately. So when we look at these things, we're gonna start by doing some obedience with them on the edge of the pool, okay? So could we get their leash and collars? And actually, you know what? Let's get his. Let's not worry about his. Now, if you remember, earlier, Kathleen told me that she thought that Buster was the instigator.
I would say Buster, he's a little more anxious than Bailey. It seems like Bailey's feeding off of Buster.
After watching them around the pool, I've determined it's someone else. Stay. It's Bailey. The other dog was fine. Once we separated him, we were able to deal with his problem fairly quickly. Bailey was a different story. Now Bailey's going to need some instruction, and part of this is because of the fact that he's younger, higher energy, and really just a much more intense dog. You see them barking, and we can tell that they're really anxious about her being in the pool. So what we need to figure out now is how we can go ahead and make these guys relax while mom's in the pool. Nope. Sit. Nope. Stay. Nope. Nope. Sit. Stay. Nope. Nope. Sit. Sit. This is your duties now when we're in the pool. We go back to the basics. Long leash, sit, stays, downs, heels, heel around the pool, sit. We go and we do it. We do short exercises. Think of him as his first day on the leash and collar. Make the corrections quick, sharp, be consistent with them, And I think that's what's going to make the biggest difference. Now, Kathleen has had some experience training and has gone through several of our classes in obedience. Bailey does therapy work at hospitals. One of the things that happens to us when we have these exceptional dogs is we forget how much trouble they were when they were little. We think, gosh, he's such an exceptional dog. But we went through all this in the past. All we need to do now is go back to the basics. Right. You've done such a great job of implementing these behaviors in the dog. Now use them to your advantage. Go back to the basics, sit, stay, down and heel, and incorporate it into the particular environment that you're having the problem with. Okay. Your stimulation is the pool, the movement, the swimming. Tell them to down. See, normally we would never have to do that. He downs right away, he does everything else. Tell him to stay, go ahead and step into the pool.
Stay.
And hang on to the leash.
Sit. Stay.
That leash is going to get wet. You may as well just get, there you go. So what do? We minimize the stimulation. So we decrease that. We add control. And then as the dog starts to accept our movement, we start increasing the stimuli. We may even want to, in some cases, we would move the dog further away from the stimuli. In this particular case, we don't. And the reason we don't is that the further away from the pool, the more anxious the dog is going to get. So we want him to be right there. Here's the pool, here's where it's going to be, and let's start from there. Praise him. Sharpness is going to be critical, making the corrections immediate, right back to the down, letting him know this is not the game that we're going to play. And then once we start getting that, within a couple of weeks or so, he should pretty much start to relax around the pool. We've seen a success in a very short amount of time. One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to come back in a couple of weeks after she's had an opportunity to work and consistently apply some of the techniques that we've given her.